What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Gyllene Tider as we continue through Modern Times 1981. Thank you as always to Gebus. And the next track, if Google Translate is accurate, has a title I'm very fond of, which is Love is Not Blind, and then parenthetically, but Quite Myopic. So if you didn't know, myopic means nearsighted in a literal sense, about like visual eyesight. But it is used maybe more often to refer figuratively to someone who is short-sighted, someone who can't see possibilities or the future as well as they should, and maybe even more frequently than that, someone who is narrow-minded, someone who can't see the understandings or the characteristics that they should be able to. So obviously this is playing off of the classic expression, love is blind, meaning love does not see difficulties or barriers or separating classifications that might otherwise be perceived by our rational brains, that our reason might tell us, well, that's going to make it impossible, or that will be really difficult. But love, it doesn't care about those differences or those barriers. It plows right through them, and it wants what it wants. So love is blind. It doesn't see these characteristics that our reason, our rational faculties, might consider delimiting. So here it's saying love is not totally blind. It's not blind, but it's quite myopic, meaning it might recognize some of these characteristics or impediments or difficulties, but not so much that it doesn't continue to seek what it wants. Now obviously this will be in Swedish, or at least mostly in Swedish, so I don't imagine I'll be able to get a sense for how that plays out, or even if my reading here is actually the point being made. But again, if the title translation is accurate, I really enjoy the song title. In any case, let's listen to it. This is Gyllene Tider. The song translates to, according to Google Translate, Love is Not Blind, but Quite Myopic, and it's from Modern Times 1981.
Kärlekens sjö. Juni var grön, kärlekens ögon var blå. Hon satt och stal en sol, jag stod och såg på.
So again, I have no further insights about the lyrics, but it's funny. Like, it's very much a rock tune, and in that regard, it sounds like a lot of the flavor I've come to know from Gyllene Tider. But like melodically, it sounds like it's closer to like a proto Roxette track than a lot of what we've heard from them so far. Now again, there's like a bit of keyboard in there, but I wouldn't call it synth rock. It's more of like a straightaway rock tune, maybe again with a little keyboard touch here and there. And it was really, as far as I could tell, just that little section in the back half of the tune. And there was a nice little, keyboard flourish before it went back into the rock sonics on its way to conclusion. But yeah, definitely some nice guitar in there, and as I said, it's like a rock and roll tune, but it just has a bit of the feel, like melodically and in terms of the overall vibe of the track, that it could be sort of the ancient history of, I'm trying to think of how to say this, like, again, like if there's a certain style to Roxette tunes, this is kind of like a primitive rendering of that, which is not me calling the track primitive in some sense, but ultimately it feels like it's not a Roxette tune, but you could hear maybe with Marie's voice interchanging with Pear's voice, and maybe a little bit more of like a synth rock sound, how this could be a Roxette tune. Anyway, I am curious about the lyrics and the use of the concept suggested by the title phrase, and I did enjoy, again, Pear's vocals, which, again, they have a very distinct sound. It's, I've come to know his voice well, and even though a number of Gyllene Tider tracks, maybe even this one a little bit, it sounds like a young Pear voice. I think it's very much, the sort of terrain that he occupies vocally quite well. So anyway, I'm looking forward to more. I did notice on the Discogs master release that like there's the tracks listed under the name of the album proper, and then there's 4 tunes that are listed under the heading Swing and Sweet, and those are all here in the folder, but there are also tunes after the ones from Swing and Sweet that I think Gebus has put in there that are essentially like bonus tracks. So yeah, ultimately we have, oh, and that's right, this is a 2007 reissue. So anyway, we've got a number of more tunes to go. I think literally 10 more to go before we finish this folder. So lots to do. Do let me know what you think, and Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.